Good afternoon. My name is Bridget Fox, and it is an honor to introduce the next Volunteer Award honoree, Rich Colbert. While I stand before you today as a United Way employee, when I first met Rich a year and a half ago, it was as a potential candidate to be the Executive Director of the Volunteer Center of Southwestern Fairfield County. As chairman of that board, Rich and our fellow board members began the search to replace the center's long-standing executive director, Roberta Eichler, who is here with us today. After several interviews, and I will share that I was 8 months pregnant when Rich finally extended the offer, I was hired and began my journey to try to fill the shoes of Roberta. I was hired in December of 2011. I had a baby in February of 2012. And in July of 2012, the Volunteer Center merged with the United Way of Western Connecticut. As an aside, in May of that year, the Volunteer Center held one of its most successful Heart of Gold events, our signature fundraising event, when we honored Paul Keener, president of BLT. Although I was on staff at the time, I should note that it was really Roberta and Rich who were running that show when I was still struggling to run my own show at home. In that 6-month period, I witnessed firsthand what a difference a board, and in particular a board leader, can make in the life of an organization and its staff. I remember saying to my husband Dan one night, very early on, "This guy means business," or words to that effect. You get it. I am talking emails from Rich at 9:30 at night, phone calls from him first thing in the morning when I walked in the door, constantly in touch with thoughts that occurred to him about the best way to preserve our Volunteer Center programming in the event of a merger. With that in mind, Rich made it clear that he always kept the best interest of the Volunteer Center and its staff as he moved forward in merger conversations. My first impressions of Rich remain true today. He is intense, and I mean that in the best way. He is passionate, he is a perfectionist, but above all, he is fun. Rich understands the mission of our organization, that promoting volunteerism in a community supports the well-being of that community, and he lives that mission. Rich, along with his fellow Volunteer Center board members that are here today, Sally Kelman, Kim Ciaffarelli, Helen Stematiadis, I did it, Victoria Zerjov, Allison Frazier, and Sandy Weinberg, demonstrates what it means to be a true volunteer. I can only gather that Rich is a phenomenal attorney. Thankfully, I have never had to face him in a courtroom in any capacity. I know this because Rich brings the same level of passion and intensity to his volunteer work, and as a result, we benefit. What I do know is that Rich is someone who shies away from recognition and does not enjoy the limelight. Today's recognition, however, is well-deserved, and on behalf of the staff of the Volunteer Center and the Volunteer Council, it is my honor to present the Volunteer Award to Rich Colbert.
Thank you, Bridget, for that very kind introduction. I've noticed one thing, that if you give money, like the other folks in the organizations, you don't have to get up here and talk. So I'm going to keep that in mind in the future. I'm honored to receive this award because it highlights the hard work that so many folks for so long have dedicated to the Volunteer Center. For nearly 20 years, Roberta Eichler grew and guided the Volunteer Center with a small but remarkably talented staff. For the past 7 years, I have had the pleasure of working with a group of board members who time and time again rose to the occasion as the organization worked through critical transitions. The work of these people and many others not only helped make the Volunteer Center, in my view, the preeminent volunteer organization in Fairfield County, but it also attracted the keen interest of another wonderful organization, the United Way of Western Connecticut. The merger of these organizations has surpassed even my expectations, which is saying a lot because I had really lofty expectations of the merger when we were going through it. There was always a dynamic feeling in the room every time we met to talk about the merger between the two groups. I think we all sensed we were doing something special and important with this merger, and I think time has and will show that our instincts were correct. Among other things, the merger will help ensure that volunteerism prospers in Fairfield County for decades to come. This is a great thing, and I'm proud to have played a small role in that result. So thank you to everyone who helped me in that endeavor, and thank you to the United Way of Western Connecticut for this award. It really means a lot to me.